Welcome back to Salt Cat Baseball here on the NYCBL Digital Network. And as we announced in the last half inning, we've got James Wildeman, one of the pitchers for the Syracuse Salt Cats, here in the booth with us for the top of the fourth inning. James, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well. So, again, just to note, you started yesterday's ball game, and you were pretty good for the first three innings, and then it kind of just fell apart a little bit going forward. So what were you feeling starting the ball game, not usually instead of coming from the bullpen?
It was a little bit of a change. I've gotten pretty accustomed to coming out of the pen, but at this point in the season, we've had a couple of arm injuries, a couple of losses out of the pen for various reasons, and it's a little bit depleted at this point, so I got called upon to get the start, and of course I wish it could have gone better, but next in line we got Gamboa on the mound, who's looking sharp up to this point. And
there he gets the out there against Theron Schillings as James Messina tosses over to Jack Anderson. And again, really the season so far has been pretty good for the Syracuse Salt Cats. You guys started off really strong. You went through a little bit of a rough stretch that usually happens in a baseball season, but right now you guys are really close to taking over that first place spot. You guys right now, Cortland did beat Hornell, so they do now have a 3-point lead, but with a win today you can make it right back into a 1-point lead. How big is it to try and get that first place spot?
Right, we definitely would love to get back into that first position. Cortland's become a bit of a rival for us, so we would definitely like to overtake that spot, but right now we're just focused on getting into the playoffs, and once we get there we know anything can happen. Don't let the Cats get hot.
So that pitch is down for a strike right there to C.J. Gilmer, the shortstop. That pitch down low. 1-2 the count now to C.J. Gilmer. So let me ask you this. Not being out there on the field, being in the booth, how does it kind of feel like being up here in the booth and kind of just seeing it from a different perspective?
It's definitely a little bit different. I love being out there on the mound, having control of the game, but being up here with you guys, watching Gamboa shove, it's always a good experience, so I'm enjoying it.
That pitch inside. 3-2 is the count now. C.J. Gilmer with Hunter Silvernail, the catcher, on deck here for the Rome Generals. As again, we're in the top of the fourth inning, a 2-2 ball game here. As C.J. Gilmer's got to pop that one up, and that's going to get into the gap there for C.J. Gilmer, and that's going to be a double, possibly a triple, as he's rounding the bases and heading to third, and he's going to get in there sliding for a triple for C.J. Gilmer. And now the Rome Generals have a runner right 60 feet away from scoring with Hunter Silvernail, the catcher, up now. So let's put your analyst hat on. What did you see in that at-bat?
It looked like he was sitting on the outer half. He definitely saw the pitch that he was looking for. He was able to drive that to the right center field gap. But now Gamboa is going to look to keep the ball on the ground as the infield's up here and hopefully cut down that run as the score is tied 2-2 here in the fourth.
Look at you already picking that up very quickly. But so far this season, the pitching staff has been one of the most consistent parts of the Syracuse Salt Cats team. We had a lot of pitchers for the Salt Cats be NYCBL All-Stars. From you being in the bullpen, what have you seen from the Salt Cats starters so far this season?
The biggest thing is just going out there and throwing strikes, having command of the zone, getting ahead in counts. With the pitching staff we have, we know as long as we can get ahead in counts and keep the hitters off balance, that we could have a lot of success with the staff we have. So that's kind of been the MO.
As that's going to be a base hit for Silvernail. So the Rome Generals now take a 3-2 lead here in the top of the fourth inning against James Gamboa. And now it's going to be Jack Kingman, the second baseman, up to bat. Again, we know it's been a really good fun season to watch. We have a lot of new guys who are not used to playing in the league, as we obviously have the guys who are around for the last couple of years. You have Xander, you've got Pat Miner, you've got Jack DeCenzo, and you've got a couple other guys who have played in the league before. And that's going to be a swing and a miss from Kingman. What's it mean to have players who have been around in this league for a couple of years kind of instilling to you, what does it really mean to play in the league?
It's great to have those guys around as a veteran presence. Right from day one, from the guys that have been here for multiple years, like Xander, to the guys who I've met for the first time, I felt really welcomed. It was just a great group of guys. We got along really well on and off the field. And I've just had a great time being a part of the Salt Cats. And I'm looking forward to the next few weeks, hopefully in the playoff hunt.
As that's going to be a James Messina, Xander Falenda double play right there. A 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Why don't we keep... You think you could stay around for another half inning, James?
Sure can, Bri.
That went by really quick, so we'll continue talking here as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. So James Gamboa gets out of the inning, but he does allow one run here, but it's still a 3-2 ball game, so the Salt Cats still have a chance to come back and bring this ball game into a tie ball game. So again, asking from a player's side, going through the rough stretches in a ball game in the season, what is the mentality going through like really rough stretches to the point where it just seems like everything's just kind of going the opposite way?
Every season from the spring to the summer is a grind. You know, we wake up every day. A lot of us go to the gym, have lunch, and then we head over to the field, and it's sort of the same routine every day. So it gets tough towards the back end of the season, but a strong mentality is definitely important as we get into the dog days of summer. Definitely going out there with the same competitiveness as we did in Game 1 and going out there trying to get the W. So it's definitely important at this point in the season.
And for this summer season, James, did you really have any specific thing you were trying to really work on, or was it just trying to get a little bit more of a workload going into your next spring season or fall ball?
I think coming in, I definitely was looking to develop some of my pitches more in terms of like locating the fastball. I throw a splitter as my main off-speed pitch, so definitely working on keeping that low in the zone because leaving that pitch up can end up in some negative results sometimes. But yeah, I definitely felt like I've been getting some good work in this season, and I'm looking forward to how that carries over into my school season at Malloy College next year.
And again, you've had a really good season, and I was the one who brought up the name to you, the Bulldog, as I brought it up in a previous broadcast, and then you happened to bring it up and said that you kind of like the idea of just the Bulldog mentality that you have on the mound, where every inning you really are just ready to go. After every pitch, you're ready to go, not waiting for any shenanigans, I guess to say.
Yeah, I mean, for my school team, I ended the season as a starter, and then I came onto the Salt Cats, and I kind of adopted more of a relief pitcher role, or more of a 1 or 2 inning guy. And it was definitely a change for me, but I ended up really enjoying it. I've kind of embraced that role, and I look forward to helping the Salt Cats win a few more games with that role.
As Jack Anderson is up to bat now against Wildeman, as that's going to be grounded over to the third baseman, Adam Colon, who tosses it over for the out there. One out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Again, we're here with Salt Cats pitcher James Wildeman out of the Salt Cats bullpen, joining us for our first in-game player interview that we've been able to do this season. And again, James, just to go over some of your numbers for this season. So far in the season, you're 2-1 with a 2.88 ERA, 14 games. Again, the one game started. 2 saves, 25 innings, 19 strikeouts to 7 walks. A great ratio, strikeout to walk ratio right there. That's going to be a strike right there to Mikey Giordano, the designated hitter.
I'd say as a whole, the staff really puts a lot of value into strikeout to walk ratio, keeping guys off base and making them earn it at the plate.
As now Mikey Giordano has a 1-1 count with 1 out against Wildeman. Looking a little bit more in control after starting this game, a little bit inconsistent with the strike zone. And again, for the Syracuse Salt Cats, you usually are the gap between the starter and then sometimes Pat Miner, the closer for the Syracuse Salt Cats, and usually you are the guy who goes the 2 innings to bridge the gap. Mm-hmm. Is that, again, you said that you've embraced it. was that really ever a thought in your mind to be that kind of guy, or were you just a starter, just a reliever, or possibly looking to be a closer?
Coming into the season, I didn't know exactly what to expect, but whatever Coach Martinez decided my role would be best fit, I knew I was just going to embrace that and do my very best, and it ended up being that 1 or 2 inning role in a lot of games. So I've pretty much focused on trying to keep the score at bay, and going into the 9th with Patty Minor, we're always pretty confident that he's going to shut it down and get us the save and the
As
win.
Mikey Giordano's going to get a base hit right there on a chopper that R.J. Wildeman just missed, and if he was able to get that, most likely would have been an out. But a base hit for Mikey Giordano, and now the Salt Cats have a runner on with James Messina, the NYCBL All-Star shortstop, on excuse me, at the dish. And right now, Salt Cats just looking to try and tie this ball game up, as James Gamboa has pitched pretty well so far on the day, allowing only the 2 runs and the 3 runs, correction, on 5 hits. As Messina sets and gets ready for the 0-1 pitch. That pitch is down low. 1-0 is the count here with 1 out for the Syracuse Salt Cats. Again, in the bottom of the 4th inning, we're here with Salt Cats pitcher James Wildeman. So let's just mention about the fact that the bullpen is a little bit stretched out. You have lost a couple of guys. Has that kind of changed the mentality of all you guys in the bullpen to kind of be like, I'm willing to go maybe that 1 extra inning, or try to maybe even start a game if possible?
Right, yeah, at this point, inevitably, guys are going to be coming back maybe on a little bit less rest than they're used to. Arms are starting to get a little tired, but it's all about mentality in baseball. You got to really believe that you're good to go every time you step out there on the mound. And, like I said, a lot of arms are tired up to this point, but we're still really a competitive team, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win some baseball games heading into the playoffs here.
And again, to note for the playoffs standings as of right now, the Salt Cats are in line to play the play-in game. As James Messina hits that one right up the middle, it's going to be a tag of the base, and that's going to be a double play right there. And that's going to end the bottom of the 4th inning here for the Syracuse Salt Cats. James, thank you so much for coming into the booth. It was really fun to have you up
Thanks
here.
for having me, Brian. Appreciate it.
So we're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Salt Cat Baseball here on the NYCBL Digital Network. We will be right back.